Yep. Good evening, everyone. So, yesterday we learned few things about forms and validation. Now, already I showed you few points related to forms. Uh, Third-party libraries we learned, and one more is we discussed about working with what some new features into React. And remember, React new features, as I told you, there are so many background features. That means concepts will be similar, but they added some new additional functionality to them, which are used to improve their background performance. Concepts will be similar, like old version, but the new things are background features. They made asynchronous, they made good statically typing, all the features added into that, which you need not to see them, they will experience with the functionality. And some more features will come because we haven't learned about the concept called hooks. We will learn separately about the concept called hooks. There we will learn more detail about everyone. We already learned use state. We already learned use effects, use ref, but you learned only one part of them. There are so many points about them which you need to learn. So related to forms and all, concept wise will come. When you learn about hooks, you will learn more detail about all these form related concepts one more time. Some more features are there. You are going to see them with one example. We will see one example and we will handle. So after understanding the forms, one more point is I asked you to try some example. Na? So practice. Na? Na? Done? Anybody done? Able to do that? So in hook form, there is an option called use form array. By using that, you can try because in next level examples, we will see how to implement them, how we can work with them. So remember style binding, class binding, event binding, these concepts, whatever you learned. For example, we learned events. What events we learned on change, on blur, on key up, on mouse over. Nobody in the world of teaching you React will teach you what is on mouse over, on mouse out, what is on mouse down, what is on key up, because they are all JavaScript things. Only the point is you need to understand how event binding works. So you cannot come with a complaint that in React JS I haven't learned how to use on mouse over. People will laugh at that point. Why? Because what you are talking on mouse over, on mouse out, on click, on change, these are all JavaScript events, right? So here you just need to know the binding, right? You need to try these generally anywhere. If you see, nobody in React JS, they will show you about events, list all examples on events, because whatever you learned in JavaScript events, you have to replicate them. We need to just change them. So I given majority some examples additionally to them. And whatever you learned, they are all context based till now. Context based means how to use one concept, what are its syntaxes, one small example. but we need to implement all these in one real world environment. That means we will take one small applications, we will build some applications, in them we will try to use all these things. Even form, validations, everything we are going to implement on one project. Then we will get a complete picture of that, how to handle them. All several examples I showed you syntax based, how to handle them, how to work with them. Now to start building one small project, small application, you need to learn one more concept in React. And what is that? So React routing. We need to understand about React routing. So what is the concept of routing, how this routing works, we will see. Remember, hooks concept separately will come. Actually, we learnt use effect. What is the purpose of use effect? It is used to define actions on not only mount, it is used to define actions on unmount also. But we haven't seen any unmount. Such all concepts you will see now, you will understand. For that, you need to further learn about a concept called hooks. And lot of new hooks are there in React 19. Some new hooks are there, some are modified from old version. Actually, what is difference between React 18 and 19 is completely React 19 is reconstructed. It is not an improved version of React 18. It is reconstructed with a separate framework called React Fiber. So at experience level, this question may come. Sometimes they may ask, what is the background framework used for React? React completely built with a framework called React Fiber, React 19, latest one. So it is not an, so whatever options you see here, they are not of same React previous versions. So many background changes they have made. And what is this routing and how this routing concept works? Some basic to advanced level, several points are there, we will see. It's a very big concept. So many topics are involved in this. Level by level, we will see all the points here. First, for example, you are learning some web technology. Suppose we have server side technologies like Java, JSP, PHP, ASP. These are all various server side technologies. For example, when you are learning a web technology, so we are using React, suppose React using a library called React using the language called JavaScript. Am I right? What is the language for React? JavaScript or TypeScript. Then if anyone asks if language is JavaScript, then what is there in React to learn? You already know JavaScript. That means if you say I am learning JSP, PHP or ASP.NET. For example, for JSP language is Java. Then what is there in JSP to learn? Already you know Java, right? So every web technology completely involves in some techniques. Web technologies, they use a language, but the web technology completely depends on some techniques. What are the techniques? Some techniques you learned like model binding, data binding, style binding, class binding, event binding, different types of techniques. In that, routing is also one technique. So what is routing? It is a technique used in web applications. You learn state management. It is a technique. Caching, state management, routing, these all are considered as techniques. They are techniques. That means different technologies will involve with the techniques. Through techniques, we build the interface. Through techniques, we build the application. And for those techniques, we need a language. And the language will be like JavaScript, TypeScript, Java, C Sharp, all such things. So if anyone asks what is routing, generally, basically, it is a technique used in web applications. And for what purpose we use this technique? It is a technique used for configuring user and SEO friendly URL. User friendly URLs, SEO friendly URLs, we can configure by using the technique called routing. So first important point, just a basic I will give here. So technologies, web technologies use various techniques to handle different functionalities. Web technologies use various techniques to handle different functionalities. To handle different functionalities. So, some of the popular techniques include like data binding, event binding, state management, caching, model binding, routing, all such points will be there. These are different types of techniques. Not only that, they are built, they use different objects. That means, JavaScript itself is all about objects. Na? What are those? Window object, location object, navigator object, history object, document object. So if you are learning any web technology, it completely depends on objects and techniques. Objects means request object, response object, session object, cookie object, like that. Everything depends on different types of objects and different types of techniques. Now, what is routing in this is actually routing is a technique used in web applications to configure user and SEO friendly URLs. Is a technique used in web applications to configure user and SEO friendly URLs. It has so many more things. Actually, routing technique is used in web applications to configure user and SEO friendly URLs. Means, I will tell you one simple point here. For example, what is meant by user friendly, SEO friendly URLs? See, for example, I don't know from how many years you are using internet, right? So, but in the early days of internet, we don't have proper search engines. Even Google was not there at that time. And actually, what happens is Suppose I will tell you a simple example. When I first started using internet, when I know internet, when we were using internet, even now, today, I have a old diary with me. So several years back, old diary. So some old notes. So related to my computer technologies, what I learned. In that old diary, I have some website address written in diary. That means just like how you write anybody's contact numbers and all. In a diary, website addresses are written. Seriously, you kept some website addresses list in a diary. Yes, actually, earlier internet problem is we go to internet center. We used to pay 80 rupees, 100 rupees per hour. At that time, internet in cyber caves, it is 100 rupees per hour, 80 rupees per hour. Per hour, 100 rupees we need to pay, 80 rupees we need to pay. And sometimes we go there, open the browser, some exam results came. We need to watch the results. Website address we will type, and some mistake in the address, it will not open. And it will not give any suggestions. It will not open simply. It will not give any suggestions. That means like this is your URL, this is the search. There are no proper great search engines. We were having search engines like MSN and Ask and all these things, but they are not so popular, means so perfect. That means many times we went to internet center and we came back without browsing anything after half an hour because website address was not correct and we were unable to open and watch anything, right? That means the URLs were very strict. Exactly, you need to type what it is. If any small mistake is there, it is unable to find and it is unable to give suggestions. Now URLs, you don't type any website address. Even Google also, what you will do, just Google and automatically it will open in some browser. So search engine, default search engine is present in every browser. Am I right? That will take up your terms and it will use. That means now these days people forgot typing URLs. They are just typing words in the address bar. And it is able to find and return what you are looking for. So that is because one reason is routing. There are so many reasons behind that, and one reason is what? Routing. Routing makes URLs search engine friendly, user friendly. User can also remember exactly what he is looking for. For example, see, what happens here is, suppose I will show you earlier and now. Suppose we have Amazon. In Amazon, I want to see some watches information. Then I can put in the address bar directly /watches. Then it will get me watches related information and it will show. I don't need to use the search bar. I'm not using the search bar. I'm just typing /watches. And it is automatically querying something and it is showing some results. So you you can make the URL simplified so that user can easily query what he wants from the URL. That is possible. That is possible by using what? Route. Not only just routing, there are so many things involved in that. And one feature is what? Routing. So routing provides us options to create good user friendly URLs so that user can easily find what he is looking for. So user friendly URLs allow user to query any content directly from address bar, from address bar, from address bar. Actually, in the browser here, you see this is the address bar. We see people saying this as search bar. It is not search bar, it is actually address bar. That's not a search bar, right? So because if you know, you disable the default search engine in browser, then it will not allow any words. It will allow correct only URL. URL. So this is not a search bar, that is an address bar. I will show you a point. Earlier means simple example I will tell you. Example is, so without route, how the URL used to be. Even today they use combinations. So the without route URL will be something like, suppose http colon double slash www.amazon.in slash, suppose just roughly I will give here some products dot some JSP, ASP, PHP question mark, category is equal to electronics. So product is equal to ampersand, yeah, and the product is equal to, suppose mobile. So and brand is equal to Apple, something like this. Now with routing, with route, this URL can be like http colon double slash amazon.in slash, we have electronics slash, so mobile slash Apple. It can be like this simply. That means now the URLs can be very simplified like this. They can be simplified like this. That means earlier, even today, we have a combination. So, which you will see, we will learn. This is very complex. Suppose next time if I want to watch Apple mobiles in electronics, then remembering the first one is difficult now. But this is easy. We can just query what we want with just slash, right? Usually professional internet users, when they use internet, they have so many technical things, right? You people use internet. A person who knows about internet, who uses internet technically, then he will save a lot of time actually. For example, I will tell you generally what does knowing internet means. You know internet very well, huh? Huh? Very well, you know internet, huh? Right. See, for example, we opened Google. In the Google, there is a button called I am feeling lucky, na? What is purpose of this button? Seriously, you don't know? From how many years you are using Google? Since when you born, na? Uh, At least 4 5 years you are using. You don't know first screen button itself. Now understood what I mean by knowing internet. Understood? After all, you don't know the purpose of second button in Google search. Right? Now imagine the knowledge. Already we know na, from web, we are using only 4 5% of surface web. Only 4 5%. Rest of deep web, dark web are there. You are using only 4% of web. 4 5% of web, which is called surface web. There is deep web, there is dark web where you cannot go easily. And important is technically, do you know when a technician properly search for any topic, he will not use the first button, he will use second. What is advantage of second button is it will be precise in results. It will be precise in results means it will exactly pick up only what you are looking for. No nearest options. That means more refined results will come. So professional people will not use the first button in searching well. They will use the second button. Understood? That means like this, if a person technically knows so many things, the way how he browses information will be different. He can directly request what he is looking for. Exactly he will land there. And for you, it will may take time, lot of time. That means you will be still searching and he already found it. That means there are so many techniques, so many tricks, all these you need to know. That's the reason these days you see YouTube people are very famous with this. Several YouTube people come up with tech guys. And what those tech guys will do, they will tell all this general knowledge which you don't know. And you are using it daily. Am I right? You are using these daily, right? But you don't know about these techniques and tricks. And they will guide you. They will tell you that use this trick, then you will get more results. Use this trick, it is more faster. Am I right? Actually, they are all present, but it's difficult to know about them. Say, knowing everything is difficult. So the searching of here URLs will be like this. I showed you in Amazon. You never tried like this, na? You never tried like that. So you never tried, but actually, if you type here like Amazon dot, just now I showed you, na? Amazon.in slash I said mobiles, then it will get me the mobiles information directly. It will get me, land me on the mobiles page, right? So technically, these kind of things they have inside their website which you can use them. And this is because of one concept of this is because of what? Routing. So this is called user friendly URL. User friendly URL so that you can query easily. SEO friendly URL means it can even know exactly where you are in the page. That means you are now working with single page application. In single page application, knowing the location is important, and in that location, what he is watching also important. Generally, it requires some analytic tools. And one more concept, routing will help those analytic tools. Routing will help those analytic tools. That means, for example, you are watching some products in Amazon, and next time it will show you suggestions related to those products. Na? You are watching some videos on YouTube. Next time it will show you some relative videos. It is not just artificial intelligence and analytics. They will take help of routing also. That means routing exactly knows where you are in the page. Actually, to exactly know where you are in the page, JavaScript also helps us. But it is difficult. If you learn JavaScript, you know JavaScript have a hash. JavaScript means HTML, JavaScript have a hash reference. By using hash reference, we can reach exactly where we want in a particular page if they have references. For example, suppose, so we are using some page, any HTML page or anything. Suppose there is some HTML page. Yeah. Just roughly, I will show here. In this HTML page, we have some paragraphs of information. So we have paragraphs information here. Lot of paragraphs information is there. Now in that somewhere the topic is there called electronics. Am I right? And here I will electronics, ELE, just some ID ELE. Now, when we run this page, you can see in this page, there is an electronics topic somewhere. Now, in the address bar, I can just put an hash and I can type ELE. It will take me to that location. We can directly reach to that location. Hash. You learned this in HTML when you learned about intra-document navigation, inter-document navigation, how to navigate from one page to another, how do we navigate inside the page. That means this is a location hash to know exactly where you are in the page. And now routing provides this type of facility to know exactly what he watched previously. And remember, it is actually done through analytics, through analysis. Some AI tools are used for that, but they take help of route. So routing will not make the URLs SEO friendly. They will make the URLs help to become SEO friendly. Search engine friendly, user friendly. Directly they will not become. They will help URLs to become them. Right? So what is SEO friendly? SEO friendly URLs. SEO friendly URL allows web crawlers to find the exact location of user in page. Exact location of user in page. So we have SEO friendly URLs. Not only that, another important point is routing implicitly uses AJAX. Routing internally uses AJAX. And what is the specialty of this is which allows to load new content into page without reloading the page. It allows to load new content into the page without reloading the page. Generally, to load any new content into the page, we have to reload the page, refresh. Without refreshing the page, if any new content have to come into the page, then we should use AJAX. Now, what is the point? Routing implicitly uses AJAX technique. So that what it does, it allows to load. What is the point about this is, so in a single page application, SPA is single page application. User can stay on one page and can access everything onto the page. So in single page application, user can stay on one page and can access everything onto the page by using this technique, routing. Actually, routing can be configured. Routing can be configured server side and client side also. Client side routing is there, server side routing is also there. Routing is not just in the user interface, UI. Server side also routing will be there. Actually, server side routing is used by APIs. You learned fake store API you saw, and there I given you some routes. Na? You remember that? Slash products, /products/1, /products/categories. You saw na? There I given the heading like API endpoints, or they are called as routes. Actually, they are server side routes. What is the server side routes? They are mostly used in APIs to fetch exactly what they want from the database. So server side routing is there, client side routing is there. So server side routing is used in server applications, server frameworks. Server side routing is used in server frameworks. It can be in a server side app or APIs. It can be in server side application or in API. Client side libraries and frameworks can use routing for navigation. Can use routing for navigation. So they can use routing for navigation. They make the URLs SEO friendly, user friendly, and all this. So routing is there both client side and server side. I will show you both of them. We'll see how to use these server side endpoints, routes, and client side. But for server side, you need some server libraries, frameworks you should know. We will build one application, a complete end-to-end application. There I will show you the point, right? So this is the concept of what is routing. And routing is not inbuilt available in React. So React library doesn't provide any routing support implicitly. React library doesn't provide any routing support implicitly. They don't have implicit routing support. You have to enable routing by using the routing library. By using the routing library, and its name is React Router DOM. That's another library. React Router DOM is the library. React Router DOM. So have to enable routing by using the routing library called React Router DOM. That means by default inbuilt React don't have any routing. You have to add that by using this library. And this routing library, again, so many changes are there. Current latest version is 7. We will see, is there any recent change also? This is React Router DOM. This is the React Router DOM. This is the official React Router library. This is the official React router. It is not directly available in React. You have to enable this. You have to install it separate. And see here in this, when I scroll, you can see the latest version. It is 7. The latest version is 7. It is the 7. And actually, previous version is 6 and 5 versions are there. very latest version is 7 version, and several companies may be still using the 5 version of React. 5 and 6 completely change, completely different. And now in 7, 6 and 7, few changes they have made. We are going to see whatever the latest is, the latest 7 version is having. First, we will learn the basic what routing is, then we will see in 7 what new concept is. Actually, the syntax and the combination of using components, small changes are there. We need to know them. And it depends on your project requirements. If your project is already using some 6 version, then you need to write according to the 6 version. But now latest is 7 and they have given migration also. That means you can upgrade from the old 6 version to 7 by using some commands and all. This I will tell at the end of our React. In React last sessions, I will show you how migrations can happen. Means how to migrate from an older version to new version. So how we migrate the app from one version to another after knowing all the points. So here currently the latest version is 7, version 7. Let's see here. Some changes they make do in this. The latest, so the latest router dome version is 7. The latest router dome version is 7. And how this router dome works. I told you so many are there, level by level. We'll see one by one. We will see all how to handle that. See, for example, first we will learn all concept in small syntax. Then we are going to put this in one project, right? So let's see one example how to handle them. So first, what you have to do, you have to install the router library in the project. Okay. Let's first create a small interaction and we will see, is this working? First, I will show you one option like fake store. Okay, fake store is fine working. So first let's create one interface here. All these days, what you are doing is you are creating a component for every purpose, and every day to access the component and watch, we were directly setting that in the startup of main. Now we will not do that. Every day our application starts with one component. From there, user can watch whatever he wants. That means he can see whatever he wants. From one location, he can watch everything. Let's see how this can happen. First, I will show you the basic point. First, we need to install React Router DOM. First point, install React Router DOM for project. npm install React Router DOM and save. So we need to install React Router DOM, and after installing React Router DOM, next point is here. So React Router provides following components. It provides some important components. They are important for configuring. So we have browser router, we have routes, we have route, we have link, and we have outlet. These are initially basic. Browser router, routes, route, link, outlet. First, we are learning basic what is route, how it works. Then we will see what is new, what's concepts added, everything. So it provides some important components like browser, router, routes, route, link, and all. I will show you how this actually works. Means what is the basic flow. See, detail life cycle you are going to learn in next level. You are going to learn in the next level about detail life cycle. I will show you how this actually works, the concept here. See, so actually in this, see, we have, so we have the client or user, and usually this is the client or user, and let's say we are having a browser. That means we have a React application here. We are having a React app. In the beginning of React, I explained you a flow, na? How React app works. But in that, there are so many levels. All we will discuss in a concept of life cycle. React component cycles will be there. We will learn. You see here, we have a React application, and the point is, in this React application, what are the components available? Those components we have, like, yeah, what are the components available? Like we have a home, that is one component. We have another component, login, something. Like this, we have some components. So register, like this, components are present. Now we have home, login, register, some components are present. Now, what are the components the application provides you to access and watch use on interface? Generally, every React application will have, every React application is going to have one table. This table is called, React application will have a table called, this is route table. Every React application will have a route table. This route table contains the route information, like it contains here details like the route path, and it contains component. So it contains route path and what is the component it is. Now what's the point here is, generally the route path is, suppose we have slash login, and on login, what is the component it is going to deliver? It is going to deliver this login component now. And we have another one, what is it? Home, register or something like home. And on home, it is going to render which component? Home. Like this, we prepare one table. This is a route table. Now, from the client, a request will come to the application from browser like this. http://localhost 5173. That is the location where our React app is running. In that, they will type some login /login. User will request this login. Now this request will come to, this request is going to come to a web server. This request will come to a web server. We usually have a web server. We have a web server, and people call this as HTTP server. People call this as HTTP server. Inside the web server, so many things will be there. I will not go in depth about that. That generally people learn when they learn any server side technology like JSP, PHP, ASP. They will learn how the request response is handled inside the server. We will not go that depth. Actually, web server, usually this web server will have a application pool. It will have an application pool. It will have a application pool. That application pool comprises of all supported applications on server. And server is having a HTTP processing pipeline. Server will have a HTTP processing pipeline. And in this server, it will have a HTTP handler. It is going to have a HTTP handler. Generally, what happens is when client makes a request here, suppose client is making a request. Let's say this is the user. When user makes a request here, so the request will come to the web server. The request will come to the web server, and the request will be processed in the pipeline, and that request will be handled by a handler. Inside the pipeline, the process will happen. The app is working or not, it is running, because server may stop some apps. It will first verify, is it running? It will send into the processing pipeline. After that, it will take use of the handler, verify whether request is correct or not. If request is correct, then what this handler will do is, it will send this request to, it is going to send that request to, handler will send the request to a routing engine. We have a routing engine. We will have one routing engine. And already, you know, browser have a browser engine which will translate HTML and all. Am I right? So this is the routing engine. What the handler will do, with the help of routing engine, it will verify whether the requested path is there inside the route table or not. If the requested path is not present, if the requested path is not present, obviously this route table will return the status like, this route engine will get the status like 200. 200 means okay na. So 200 means okay, and 404 means not found. Am I right? So 404 means not found, like that. Not found like this. It will get the response from the route table. And if the requested is available, if the requested path is available, then what it will do is, it will load that component into the app. If not available, then it is going to send a message 404. Then it will get the message like what? Not found. And you can see the response will go to the client. The response will go to the client. We will have a request and a response. This is a basic of how the route works. And remember, in the app, there is a register component, but register component is not in the routes. Na? Now, if anybody tries to access that register directly from the URL, it will not run. It will not work. For example, I will show you here. See, I showed you Amazon. Observe carefully. In Amazon slash, I entered mobiles, and enter. It will get me the mobiles related data. Am I right? Okay. I entered slash watches. It will get me the watches related data. Now tell me something else. Suppose I entered fashion. Am I right? Enter. And you can see it gets me fashion related. Anything else? Tell me. Suppose books, and you can see here it shows me books related, right? Okay, I will do one thing. Here I will say televisions, televisions. And when I hit enter and it says not found, means Amazon is not having televisions, huh? But they don't have a direct access to that. That means electronics is present, but they don't have a route for it. Understood? That means you have to visit it through another. For example, let's check TV. Am I right? And enter. And you can see here TV is there. That means the route path name you give something wrong, then it is unable to access because it will verify the path that you entered with the route table. Understood? In the table, what is the name given? The same you have to use. If you use anything else, then it will not allow to access. That means how it is responding to some words and not responding to other words, because those words are in the route table. In the route table, if user requests anything outside the route table, then it says that not found. That means, can you access everything directly with a URL request? No, it should be configured inside the route table. It should configured in the route table. So you make a request, it will come to the server. Server will make help of routing engine. This routing engine will verify whether requested path is available in the tab or not, and it is going to render that. Right? Now the point is how this route table is created. We have to create this route table. So if you can create the route table, now your app is also ready to serve your routes, right? Now how to create this route table? For that you need these components. You need these components. What are those components? First important is, here one more point is there. Currently we are using routing in React, which is virtual DOM, na? Virtual DOM. In actual DOM, which object is responsible for handling routing? In actual DOM, which object is used for handling navigation? In JavaScript, you have an object called location. JavaScript have a location object which is used to handle the navigation. Location.href, location.hash, location.search. Location.search will get the query string. You know, location is an object of actual DOM which is used for handling navigation in actual DOM. So in a virtual DOM, we are designing navigation, but it should map to the actual DOM. That means you see in the browser, generally in the browser, suppose I inspect here, not page source. When I inspect here, you can see just roughly I will go to the console, and here we are using location.href is equal to, I am giving https colon double slash www some amazon dot in, like this I am giving amazon dot in. That means this location href is going to navigate and load that Amazon in my URL. That means in actual DOM, navigation is maintained by location object. It is maintained by the location object. That means what this is going to do, you saw that just now I showed you. You see here, I'm using location dot what? Href. Location dot href is a setter. It will set a new path in the URL. https colon double slash www, suppose some flipkart dot in, something like this we given, and hit enter. It will set this path in the address bar. When it sets the path in the address bar, it is going to launch that and it is going to display. That means it will set that and it will display. You can easily access that and use it. So technically in actual DOM, the navigation is managed by whom? It is managed by location. In virtual DOM, whatever routes you designed, they need to be translated into actual DOM, and that is done by browser router. So browser router is responsible for translating all the virtual DOM routes into actual DOM. That is first important component you should know. So browser router. So it is responsible for converting the virtual DOM routes into actual DOM. Into actual DOM. Here one more point. So in actual DOM, the navigation is managed by location object. It is a browser object, BOM object. Navigation is managed by location object. Right. Next important, we have another one is routes. Routes is nothing but it is used to construct the route table. It is used to configure the route table. It is a collection of routes. It is a collection of routes. It is used to configure the route table. It's a collection of routes. Next, route. It is used to configure every individual route in a routes collection. In a routes collection. In a routes collection, every individual route is configured using route. Inside that, what it will have, we'll see the points. And link. So it creates anchor used for route navigation. It creates anchor used for route navigation. Generally, in normal navigation, directly we use anchor, a href. Here we do that by using link. And outlet, so it is used to configure the target location for child routes. Where the child route should render, it will set the target location. That you will see later in child routes how this outlet works initially. So we have these basic options. Syntactically, we have a browser router. In the browser router, we have routes. In the routes, we have a route. Route will have a path. So route will have a element like this. Route will have like children. So some other things we can configure. We close the routes and we close the browser router. Now remember, you have to make sure that all the routes are defined inside the browser router. That is the scope. It is like a context. All the components routing should be inside that scope. It should be inside it. So let's see one simple example here. Means how we configure the routes, one small concept. First, I will give a basic point. Later we can design our example. Let's go in the components. I will in SRC. In SRC, I will put a new folder called tutorial. Tutorial is a new one. In this, I'm adding some components. Tutorial index dot JSX. Another one, tutorial home dot JSX. And suppose I'm giving like Java tutorial dot JSX, some React tutorial dot JSX. Roughly, I given some points. Okay, let's create here. So I will create export function component is tutorial index. Tutorial index and return some just division here. And this is tutorial index. Huh? I will copy the same and this is tutorial home. I will just keep tutorial home and I will just keep this H4 something. Okay. I will copy another one, Java tutorial. This is Java tutorial. This is Java tutorial something. And this is React tutorial. I'll just keep React tutorial component. This is React tutorial. Roughly, I just given these points. Now see, we will start with which component? Index. In main.jsx, we will start with which one? Tutorial index. From tutorial index, we will start npm run dev. Have we installed router dome? No, na. So npm npm react router dome and save install. npm install react router dom install I can give anywhere. Okay, fine. Fine. Now let's go here. Tutorial home tutorial index is in the startup. You just open the browser and request, and you can see tutorial index is in the startup. I will put container fluid something. Okay. Tutorial index is in the startup. Now I will just keep this class text center. Now, actually, we will keep everything inside one browser router. Am I right? In the browser router, we have a header. In the header, we will keep this, and we will keep text center is already there. So in the header, it is there. Now below this header, I will put a horizontal line. A horizontal line will come, a simple HR. And after that, I designed a section. Okay, in this section below, all the content should come. Then here we create the routes. Browser router contains routes. Routes define where to render your information. Now, every routes have route, and every route have a path. Path indicates how you are expecting request. I am expecting request as /home. If you request this, then which element it should render? That means which component it should render. Here you can define the component name. What is the component name? Tutorial home. Tutorial home na? It should render the tutorial home. You have to import tutorial home. Okay, next important, if the route path is / what is it? So actually you don't need / also. I will tell you why we need / that is called relative absolute paths. I will explain. What is another route? JS. Then which element it should render? It should render which element? It should render Java tutorial. Java na? Right. Java I will give, it should render the Java tutorial. Okay, next route path. React. Then element, which element it should render? React tutorial. React tutorial it should render. Okay, everything is fine. Now you see here in the address bar, I will click and enter as Java, then Java tutorial will come. That means it is going to access Java tutorial and show. And in the URL, I am asking for /react. React tutorial will come. That means we can access everything from one page. That means I am accessing here what else? Home. Then the home will come. There are, I told you now, so much is there. Just this is the beginning point for this. And observe carefully here. You are requesting something and it is not there. Suppose mobiles, it is not there, then it will be empty. Later we can put a message not found. We'll see all of that. Initially you need to make a request of what is available, it will get you and show. But usually we don't make request like that. We can put links now. So what we will do is in the header below this tutorial index, we will put a nav. In that we will put a span. In that we will put a link element. This is a link and this says home. And this link should link to which one? /home. It should navigate to home. Now similarly, another span, it should be what? Route path is Java. And here we have Java tutorial, something like this. And we have another one. Another one is what? React. So here we have React tutorial. React tutorial. And here I given class MX is 5. So that means we are adding some gap for that. And here one more important is when you are designing this here. So link to, that means it should navigate to any specific location and handle that. And you see here, it is showing some error. You can see it is showing some error here. What is it? Link is not defined because link is present in which location? Router. Here we have to use which one? Link. Now you can see the link is defined and those options are available here. I click on Java tutorial, it will get that. React tutorial, it will get that. You can access which one you want from one location. Now, if you remembered, you designed so many apps designs. That means now see what I am doing here. I am creating another route path called path is weather. Am I right? Element, which element we created a weather app na? We will use that weather app. Now here in the link, we will put an option. What is that? It should link to what? Weather. Weather. And you can see that it is going to use weather. I will just put weather and here also class ME5. Some gap we are using. Now when I click on weather, you can see the weather app will load here. So you enter the city name, some Delhi, and say search. It should get that and show everything working fine. That means now user will stay in one place and he will access to everything from the page. That is actual nature of a single page application. And when it is loading the new details, it is not refreshing your page. If you observe it, the reload button, when I click on React tutorial, it is not reloading the page. Without reloading the page, the new details are coming and loading here, means it is implicitly using some Ajax. So this is basic of how we configure the routes. There are so many points here to understand that we'll see in next session, one by one. So first, we learned the basic routes, right? Now, so much is there, we will discuss one by one. I will just give one example for this, okay? Tomorrow, we will create a proper example and we will take that example. Just roughly, I will give this example, what only index I will keep, all others you need to design. Huh? Here in the example, we added a page. What is it? Tutorial index dot what JSX. In that you need other pages, you have to try to design them. Just simply you do this, but the real example we will see in next session. Tomorrow we will continue. Okay, right.